Hello, everybody. I'm excited to get started with you on this gut reset. Now, most of you know about the mouth and where it ends up, but the organs in between, there are several organs that are involved in the tube, and there are also those that are involved as an accessory organ to help with digestion. So you've got the esophagus, you've got the stomach, it gets into the stomach, and then from there goes into the small intestine. There's different parts of the small intestine. And then from there goes into the large intestine, eventually out through the rectum. There are other organs that are involved in assisting with digestion, like the pancreas, which produces enzymes, some amylase and peptidases. And you also have stomach that produces some enzymes, including hydrochloric acid. And then you have the liver that produces enzymes as well. It produces some bile, but it also produces lipase and some of those enzymes. These all work to help break the foods down. Now, the tube itself, the digestive tract, is actually just a tube that goes on the inside of us. It's still considered part of the outside or the outside world. And it has a single layer, cell layer barrier that is usually pretty tight. The cells are pretty close together. And when everything's working properly, the food runs through the stomach, enzymes and acid are applied to the food there. It's broken down into a liquid. Then it runs into the small intestine, and there is it absorbed. And what is not absorbed is running through the large intestine, and preferably if there's good fibrous foods in there, like your sprouts and things, it's going to get in there and feed the microbiome. And then whatever's left, once the water is removed, is actually exited out of the body. When your cell walls are working well, then once it gets broken down to that level that it needs to in order to cross the membrane, the gut-brain barrier, or the gut membrane, then you will actually have absorption of that food. So you have digestion that starts in the mouth, not only enzymes in the mouth, but teeth that are chewing it up, breaking the food down. It is further broken down in the stomach and also in the small intestine. In the small intestine, it actually gets absorbed inside of us. So it goes past this wall, but it has to be small enough. Just like here, you can kind of see there's a little bit of room if it's small enough to get through there. If it's small enough, it gets across there, goes into the bloodstream, and then from there is taken up or assimilated. So you need digestion, you need absorption, getting into there, assimilation, and then you actually get it taken to the cells where it is used for nutrients and other things. So all those processes have to happen if you're actually going to get benefit from the food that you eat. Now, when you have a leaky gut, you actually have gapping of the cells, and those cells will then allow larger food particles to get through. And then from that point, the immune system, which is on the other side of the wall to protect you, will actually start attacking the food, thinking it is a foreign invader. Because our body has already identified what is self and what is not self. We do that when we're in the womb. We also do it as we start to acquire things throughout our life. And so we have this barrier here that when that is opened up wider than it should be, you have this leaky barrier. And so food can get through, the body starts to attack that. So that's one of the things that can happen when you have a gut problem or gut inflammation, is you can have some of that leaky gut. We're going to be going into more detail about some of these conditions later. We're also in the next video going to talk about some of the common symptoms that are associated with the gut. But again, the goal of the digestive system is to take the food that you eat and turn it into usable material. You want to have not only absorption of your vitamins and minerals so that you can actually nourish your body, but you also want to be able to have usable energy units. So the body will take glucose and it'll turn it into ATP eventually through what's called the Krebs cycle. And so to have effective digestion, you have to have everything working properly. As we get older, as we don't produce as much enzymes, as we have traumas and things like that, we start to have dysfunction happening in this digestive system. And you start to have a variety of symptoms.